everybody, I'm really excited to have you here with me. Today I'm going to talk about something that's really truly going to help you become much more productive. You're going to feel like your home is your sanctuary. We'll talk about how to have every day of your life feel like a spa life, how you can set up your environment and your office, including your desk, to support you in that. I'm Diane Halfman. I'm a professional organizer and a SpaLife mentor. I want to talk with you today about what to do with your things in your physical environment and the dimension of space. It's all about creating a workspace that makes you more productive and profitable. The reason I want to talk with you about organizing is for what being organized brings to your life. First off, I want you to know that creativity craves clarity and simplicity. For you to be creative, you have to have space. That's why artists start with a blank canvas. If you have any kind of creative job or entrepreneurship and you want to create something, you need to have space. Now, Linda, a client of mine who was already an accomplished author, she was trying to start her second novel. The problem was she was in serious writer's block. Linda flew me to her home in the Midwest for 5 days. We talked and wow, she was stuck. I was able to figure out a plan for her that I knew would work. We removed all the things that didn't represent who she was in terms of clutter. That was her belongings, physical clutter, as well as tension in her body. When you work more closely with me, we alleviate many layers of tension. You really feel and experience the benefits of that higher level of clearing. 2 weeks after our 5-day VIP intensive, she finished her book. Yes, you heard me right, 2 weeks. I want you to think about for just a moment what's been on your plate forever that you'd like to complete. Think of what is something that you'd really like to complete, but it just keeps getting pushed to the side. If you were going to actually get that done, where would you go to do it? Would you do it in your office? Go to Starbucks? Go to a mountain cabin? Why would you go there? Is it quiet, calm, free of distraction? Yeah, that's why people go to places to get projects done, because concentration and real progress craves a distraction-free environment. Creativity and growth actually need clarity, and clarity comes in a distraction-free environment. Creativity craves clarity. So by removing all the barriers that were keeping her from completing her book, she was able to have the inspiration and clarity to put her vision into words and into print. We removed 100 full boxes of unfinished projects, unpacked, scaled down, and cleared out over 40 years of clutter, and anything that didn't support her present and future goals. What a great success that was. What a great investment in both time and money that paid off huge. Talk about some ROI. The second thing, let's face it, if you don't have the space for success, like on your desk, your calendar is completely full, your to-do list is completely full, you feel overwhelmed and your desk is covered with papers and you can't find stuff, where is success going to go? Success is looking for a home. You know that success is out there and it's going to rain on the people who have the space to collect it. If your desk is covered with papers, then you are sending out into the world energetically as well as physically that you don't have room to be successful because you don't have space. So you actually have to create space. I'm going to be able to support you to create time in your calendar. You also have to create physical space in your environment to have things show up that you care about. For example, if you want someone to give you a $50,000 check for a deal you just closed, then you better make space on your desk to do the proposal. Then put that proposal away, hopefully in a place where you can find it, so you can create the space for that check to appear. Does that make sense? If you're not creating a space on your desk, how are you bringing in success to your business? If you're not creating space in your calendar, how are you going to create space for the new clients? If you have no money and no time, then you're telling me you have no space for anything new. That also means you have no room to improve. Now, there are some of you who may have tricked yourself. You've hidden things away, and you're just hoping that your drawers don't spring open. Please know that's also subconsciously eating away at your success because you put a Band-Aid over something. If you're treating your space in a careless and sloppy way, you are also attracting clients who are careless and sloppy in how they're showing up with you. The third and final thing, if your home is your sanctuary, then your office is your creative realm. So you want every room, your papers, your space in your office, to be a representation of the success you imagine for yourself. So what I'm going to teach you today is how to make that happen in your space. And I'm even going to go into my system, which is called the Reset System, and you can apply it. I'm going to use it the example of paper and organizing in your office. However, you can use the reset system to organize all the rooms of your home so that every room is doing the job that it should. Your bedroom should feel like a sanctuary and a peaceful place. Your office feels like your creative realm and a place for prosperity. The kitchen feels like a place to be nourished and have family time. We want every space in your home and every space in your office to represent what it's supposed to. When people put these principles in place, they have the opportunity to enjoy what I call the spa life. It's your safe place. Like a spa, we want your home to be a place where you rejuvenate, connect, and feel joy. You cannot have levity and joy without clear space. You can't fully relax in a space that's cluttered because your mind's always thinking that there's something else I'm supposed to be doing. Have you ever been doing something and feel like you should be doing something else? It's my mission to have people up-level their space so that it creates the feeling you want to experience in that space. Let's take a look at what I'm talking about regarding the spa life. Imagine yourself standing at the entrance of this spa. How does it feel? Notice the clear floors and open space. It invokes being taken care of, serenity, and being restored. It's this feeling of sanctuary that I want you to bottle up and take into your own home for that feeling that it provides. This spa entrance is simple, clean, and a bit of nature with the plant, as well as with the soothing feeling of having lit candles. Walking into this spa feels sacred and open. How much sacred space do you have in your own home? One thing I love about this spa is the bridging of the floor. It symbolizes walking from the outside world to an inner sanctum. It's my intention for you to have the doorways of each room in your home to be the bridge to what you want to experience in each one of your rooms. Notice the pillars in this spa. Can you imagine as you walk through each pillar, it peels away that doesn't serve you? How would your life be different if you felt more productive in your office and more peace in your bedroom by simply creating the environment to inspire that experience? One of the things I love about a spa space is fresh flowers to have the appreciation of beauty. What beautiful things do you want in your space to bring a smile to your face every time you see it? This home is an example of how you can start to use spa principles to inspire your own home. Notice the symmetry of the plants and the inviting feeling. Notice how lighting shifts your experience of a room. Candled lanterns can signal a shift of energy walking into your home to have the intention of a clear and calm space. Having these in your bedroom can signal peace, rest, and romance. How we organize a room pulls us into the experience we want to have. This is how you would bring the spa feeling into your home. See the clutter-free floor and welcoming entrance? Notice how this entrance is not only clutter-free, it's open and airy. Here you can bring in the beauty of fresh flowers and clarity of space. You may be wondering, but where would I put my stuff? There are ways to keep things off the floor, have storage, and know exactly where something is. Using a multiple baskets, keeping things orderly at the front door while still enjoying a clutter-free walkway. Even one big basket can capture shoes and allow the visual pleasure of an open floor and peace of mind. You can get creative and use a tray to line up shoes so no one trips on them walking in. You can also use a beautiful vase or pitcher to hold umbrellas that look nice as well as functionally capture water and dirt. Notice how this home has a similar feel to the spa. The clear floors, open space, and a bit of nature, and a few inspiring and thought-provoking pieces. Walking into this home feels special. We've all heard your home is a castle. However, how many of you have organized it in a way for you to feel proud, productive, profitable, and peaceful? I believe we can create this by getting more organized and creating the spaces that truly represent who you want to be. You're in the right place if you're thinking, I'd love to get organized, and I'm wondering how to make the time for this. You're also in the right place if you're thinking, every time I get started to get organized, I get sidetracked. And you're also in the right place if you're thinking, I'd love to have my home and office be a true representation of me. What you'll learn today is how to get 3 hours of leisure time back and how to create a beautiful space that enhances your productivity. In fact, I'm going to teach you how to set up your environment so it automatically makes you more productive. I'm going to show you 3 places you're leaking money and time and how to reverse that right now. You're going to see exactly where the problems are. It'll be like walking down the street and seeing a $100 bill, where you just bend over and pick it up. You'll also learn a no-fail way to reduce the amount of clutter that comes into your life. We're going to do that through very simple systems. Your systems, which is the S in my reset system, are your answer to so many problems that you're experiencing. I had to learn this the hard way. One day a few years ago, well, a lifetime ago, I walked in the front door of my home and instantly knew something was wrong. You know that feeling. You don't know what is wrong, you just know that something is wrong. And I knew it was something big. I soon found out that my husband was leaving me. We'd been married for 6 years and we had 2 daughters, 4 and 5 years old. I was devastated. I was a brand new police officer working night shift, and my life as I knew it shattered. My life looked great on the outside. However, I didn't share with anyone how much chaos I was feeling on the inside. I remember walking around feeling like I was drowning. The weight of dealing with the sudden turmoil in my life quickly felt like an extreme burden. My days were filled with being a single parent, caring for my 2 young daughters, and learning a new job as a police officer. On top of all that, I also faced handling the emotional aspects of working on an all-male squad of officers. Not to mention the jealous wives complaining about them riding at night alone in a car with me. In order to deal with this, I stopped dealing with it. Going from a life where I had everything mapped out to everything being thrown into a frenzy was nearly overwhelming. I didn't care about taking care of myself, much less keeping things organized. I was just trying to get through the day. I stopped opening my mail and the piles grew rapidly. I started working 16 and 18-hour days and I kept myself exhausted. I didn't have time to look at my life or my space. What used to be my perfect put-together life became a series of sleepless nights, going to family court, fighting with my ex, and avoiding going home. I spent more time hanging out at my parents' with my girls so I wouldn't have to look at my stuff. What I didn't understand is that there is a direct relationship between the amount of drama in your life and the resulting clutter that comes of it, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. The people that have the most drama tend to have the most clutter. There is a drama to clutter ratio. The more drama, the more clutter. That's when I discovered this very odd phenomenon. The drama to clutter ratio works both ways. The less clutter I had, the less drama I experienced. So that's when I put things back in their place, like the dishes back in the cabinet. I felt better about myself. That's when I started to put my mail away. I had a clearer head. The more I organized my physical space, the more my mental space got sharper and the more productive I got at work. I discovered that having an environment that reflected my new life lifted me up, made me proud again, made me productive and healthy. In fact, having a productive, clear environment is the easiest and most effective way to start creating the life you really want and achieve the dreams you're looking for. Needless to say, after discovering this, I got back on track and began using my systems again. In a little while, I'm going to talk about my systems. Systems, the S in my reset system, are the answer to so many problems that people are experiencing. So my desire for you is to have simple ways to clear space on your desk and your calendar so you can put your fingers on what you need and get that 3 hours back in your day right away. The average number of inbox emails is over 8,000. Add that on average to more than 37 different folders. Studies have shown that when you have simple systems in place, it's so much easier to find what you need. The amount of paper you typically generate can be overwhelming. If you bring just one piece of paper a day into your home, that adds up to 360 extra pieces of paper a year. If you bring 10 pieces of paper a day, that quickly adds up to 3,600 pieces of paper a year. Can you see how having a simple system to deal with paper can save so much time, space, and energy? What's important is it's not about having neat piles on your desk. It's about having a life that excites you, where you're not working all the time. In order to do that, you've got to have clarity around what you're doing and why. We do that together by looking at your space and organizing it in a way to bring peace, order, and productivity into your life. So what is the big deal with your environment anyway? I invite you to look at your environment like a dimmer switch versus an on-off switch. Let's not look at it as black or white, organized or not organized, all or nothing extremes. Let's look at it as an opportunity to get organized in a dimmer switch fashion. We are turning up the light of organizing to be brighter and brighter. When we do this, we create a space that inspires you to do better and be better. We all have great intentions. Many times people rely on willpower to make things happen. Instead, let's focus on changing your environment and setting yourself up to win. Your environment impacts everything. If you're trying to lose weight, why would you put a 1,000-calorie cupcake on the kitchen counter and stare at it all day saying, I'm not going to eat that? Or how about not even bringing that cupcake into your house in the first place? Why invite that cupcake into your environment? Change begins with changing your environment. All of you are looking to reduce clutter in your life to create more peace, calm, and happiness. When it comes to creating your dream environment, think about how much stuff you're holding on to that's actually blocking your vision from becoming a reality. Environment is stronger than willpower. When you get rid of these cupcakes from your space, you'll have a much better chance of turning your vision of a calm, peaceful home into a reality. Imagine going into an office that looks like this. What kind of deals are you going to make from this messy desk? This is a real office from one of my clients. What do you think is happening to your mind when you walk into an office like this? Do you know it actually takes 45 minutes to get your mind back on task? So even though you have tuned out all the stuff on your desk, what's really happening is that it's taking a really long time to get back on task. As soon as you look away, you're distracted again. This is what was happening with my client Leah. She felt pretty organized and proud of running a 6-figure business with her team of independent contractors, except she was overwhelmed and drained most of the time. I worked closely with Leah, and one of the first problem areas that we solved was her office. I first saw she had too many papers and projects on her desk. It was distracting her from making consistent progress. Our work together had an amazing and immediate impact on her energy. I taught her to use my unique reset system. After that, her day went from being organized chaos to being organized productivity. What a difference it made for her. She's now getting more done in less time, and she has more energy. She has a new filing system, and the boxes of stuff that she was going to sort out someday are now gone. With a desk that has only her current project on it, Leah can focus deeper, have more clarity, and get her work completed faster. Ultimately, her feelings of overwhelm and being drained have vanished. She feels more freedom and enjoys being more productive in her space and has lots more energy. Remember when we talked about how creativity craves clarity? How would your creativity, move, and energy work on a desk like this? If you want to experience a fulfilled plan, productivity, and profits, make your office look like this. Notice how in this office, there's space on the desk. Wouldn't you feel proud to have clients drop by here? Even if you don't see clients in person, what are they seeing when you do a Skype call? Notice the clear floor. The uniformity of the shelves allow your eye to rest and expand. The simplicity and elegance allows you to feel prosperous. The point is, you have to create space for success. You have to set up your environment to win. That creates the experience of the spa life. Spa life is how you want to feel in your space. It starts with your physical environment and spreads to all other areas of your life. You have the power to create what positively impacts you. Too many times we let our environment create itself by default instead of by design. When you look at this space, it feels claustrophobic. There's no desk space for new projects here. I'm not even sure there is a desk under here. It seems to appear bit by bit until one day we look around and realize we're overwhelmed. The reality is we need to be in control of our environment, not letting it control us. This is about taking control of your life. Start with your space, what's around you. In this office, notice the simplicity of this space. Notice plenty of open space on the shelves. Open space allows the mind to expand and have room to mentally create and expand. Notice how adding a pop of color can elevate your mood, yet it's simple, open, and clean. Can't you see how creative you could be in this space? Looking side by side, notice how distracted the brain could get on the cluttered desk versus being more focused on the calm desk. Look at how distracting the home office is on the left compared to being focused after some work with me. I hear many people say the cluttered piles don't impact them that much. However, when something is out of place, it throws you out of alignment. Subconsciously, your brain is looking at all the things that are out of alignment. When this is corrected, you can put all your energy into just the next step forward, rather than being scattered. If your space is not working, if you're not organizing your thoughts, if your relationship is not working, it's time to clear things up. When you clear the things up that no longer serve you in the physical space, you can see other things open up. Another thing to consider is that everything you own owns you. For instance, you have a beautiful statue. You have to dust it, find a place for it. There needs to be some care. It's taking your time and energy. Do you love it so much that you want to care for it? Think about this. Your stuff is taking energy and time away from you. Let's look at 3 places that you're leaking time and money. First, we'll tackle tolerations. Tolerations cause drag in your space. A loose board that you trip on, an outlet that doesn't work, window blinds that won't raise up because of a broken string. These are all examples of tolerations in your space that cause you extra minutes or hours in your day to deal with. I'd like you to take 30 seconds to write down places that you've probably been wasting time, money, or resources because you can't put your fingers on them. In other words, what have you been tolerating or putting up with in your office that might be slowing you down? Do you have all the documents you need in one place? How many piles of paper are on your desk? Does your computer boot up right away? Start making a list of things that you tolerate that cause drag on your energy or are sucking money. Remember, tolerations cause us drag and take us longer to do things. If it takes you an additional 5 minutes to find something or have distractions, then it's costing you 30 extra hours a year of unproductivity or time you could be doing something else that you love. Is your environment in alignment with the speed you want to go? Is it the wealthy people who get organized when they have the space, or is the space being organized that makes them wealthy? Next, let's talk about email excess. Let's take a minute and think about where we're leaking money when it comes to our inbox. How many of you have more than 100 emails in your inbox? How many of you don't even know how many emails you have in your inbox? How many of you have declared email bankruptcy? I want to share with you how handling your email properly can easily make you money. When clients work more closely with me, I teach them all aspects of how to deal with their computer and email clutter. For right now, let me give you one major way to save a ton of time and money. Unsubscribe without hesitation. If you're not reading the emails, and you know which ones you don't open, unsubscribe. Sometimes you may have FOMO, fear of missing out. Trust me, you're missing out because you have that fear. Lower the number of emails and you will lower your stress. So remember, any emails not relevant to your life, unsubscribe and delete by topic. For example, you receive emails from a shopping website that you used once several months ago and aren't going to use again. Be sure to unsubscribe. Then do a search for that site name and do a mass delete. This will clear hundreds of email for you. My client Rhonda's inbox was so backlogged that she was missing people in her email that wanted to actually do work with her. When she finally organized and systemized her email, she discovered she had lost over $200,000 in business. Lastly, you may be leaking time and money because of paper pileup. When you let paper piles grow, you may be missing dividend checks or money just waiting for you in your mail. Opportunity to cash in is sitting in your mail. Bills that are inaccurate or misfiled lead to things being overpaid or late. All of this is wasted money that you could be putting in your pocket. Now let's shift gears here and talk about something that drives most people crazy. You know what a pain it is to go to the store and forget something? Wouldn't it be nice if you had a way to remember all those things? In my book, The Paper Clutter Solution, I'll teach you how to create an action box. How many of you have ever got to the grocery store and you realize you don't have your list of what you need? It's a pain to go back home to get that list, so you don't go get the list. Yet when you get home, you realize you forgot to get something that was on the list. So now you have to go back to the store. If you've ever done that, you know how frustrating that is and what a waste of time. I have the answer for that in my Paper Clutter Solution book. I'm going to show you one little tidbit from that book. I use this thing called an action box. This way, I always have what I need when I'm out and about. Another thing, you know the papers on your desk you can't seem to find a home for? Well, that's also another thing that I teach in the Paper Clutter Solution book that's related to the action box, so all that you need are with you. Wouldn't it be amazing if you didn't have any papers on your desk and as soon as you touched a piece of paper, you knew where to put it? That's one of the things that I teach in my Paper Clutter Solution book. That is the exact thing that happened to my client Kay. Her daughter had been accepted for a $50,000 scholarship as long as she completed a few requirements. That included filling out a form and turning in some receipts. Kay and her daughter searched high and low for the supporting documentation the school needed. They weren't able to find them before the deadline and were denied the scholarship. Frustrated, Kay called me. We systemized her paperwork by removing anything she didn't need. I created the action box for her with the errands file in place so this wouldn't ever happen again. My VIP clients get this stylish purple box as a free bonus when they choose to work more closely with me. Many of you have had files that are out of sight and out of mind. I have other solutions for those challenges. So people say, sure, Diane, I see I want to get organized, but how do I even start? One thing I teach people is how do we evaluate what to keep and what to toss. You can do this by asking yourself a series of questions. When you pick up any piece of paper, ask yourself, what is this mail, note, or business card for? You want to be able to touch a piece of paper just once and determine what to do with it. For example, don't ask for a business card if you don't plan on doing something with it. Make a decision right then and there. It saves you time and keeps it off your list of things to do. That decision is either to not connect with that person and don't take the card, or if you want to connect, then put a connection call on your calendar right then. It saves time going back and forth later trying to set up a call with this person. How about that grocery receipt? If you don't use the receipts for balancing your checkbook or taxes, don't take one. Tell the checkout clerk, no thank you, I don't need that. At a minimum, throw it away right away. When you take notes during a call or a meeting, decide what to do with them right away. Like the notes you've been taking during this webinar, ask yourself, what actions need to happen with these notes? Then, calendar those things right then and there. Your calendar is your mind in action. As a matter of fact, I have a tool I will share with you at the end of this that will show you exactly what to do with all your papers. Won't that make it simpler? Solve your problem once and for all. Know how to evaluate. Shift your mindset to, does it inspire me and bring me joy and lightness to my life and propel my life forward? Or does it tire me and make me feel heavy? The more stuff you have, the more you're anchored. You can't be free when you're anchored. This may be a time in your life where you need to evaluate what's working and what's not working. My client Maddie was at a crossroads asking herself many of these same questions. Divorced after 35 years of marriage and 40 years as a nurse, she found herself downsized from a large and lavish home into a one-bedroom apartment. When she called me to her space, Maddie had everything she owned on the living room floor of the apartment, a huge pile of clutter. She felt devastated and drained with all the stuff on the floor, a reflection of all that wasn't working in her life. She couldn't sleep, she couldn't fully function. The clutter was a visual reflection of what was emotionally not working in her life. She was depressed, drained, and spontaneously crying. Remember how we learned the drama to clutter ratio? Maddie was experiencing just that. She was looking at the things in her living room floor and believing that that clutter represented who she was as a person. Instead, we looked at who she really was inside and who she wanted to be and how she wanted to show up in the world today. We set to work, and as her space cleared up, she cleared up. She began to shine with new possibilities. In what ways do you know that things are not working in your life? You know it's time to start asking yourself hard questions. Where are you hiding and where are you playing small? You know it's time to do something different. You need the consistency and thought process to succeed. You have to create the environment to win. That's why you haven't succeeded at a higher level. You've been trying to do it all by yourself. Now take a moment and close your eyes. I'd like you to imagine walking in the door of a spa. Notice how you feel at the spa. Look around the spa and consider, what is in the spa? What are some of your favorite smells in the spa? Now we're going to journey into your home. Imagine a room in your home. Take in everything you see and experience being in that room. I'd like you to slowly open your eyes. Keep in mind that there are things that both work and don't work in a room. With the room that you just envisioned in your home, please jot down what's working in that room. Now jot down what's not working in that room. What would make it ideal? What would it take to match your ideal version? Does that seem impossible? Well, it is possible. And this is the key to creating a spa life. Why wait until someday to have the space that you want? You work too hard to wait. Most people never get started because they think it's too hard, or they get halfway through and give up, leaving dumping grounds or seed piles that grow over and over. This is the part where people get tripped up. They don't know how to evaluate effectively. Their papers, their space, their life, they don't see the possibility. They don't see what you are now beginning to see. We spent some time discussing how to evaluate several different areas. That was actually part of a system I use when clients work closely with me. Evaluation, which we just went over, is the second part of my system. There are other parts of my system that turn this idea of evaluating into a lasting and useful transformation. Now, we spent some time discussing how to evaluate several different areas. That was actually part of a system I use when clients work with me closely. Evaluation, which we just went over, is the second part of my system. There are other parts of my system that turn this idea of evaluating into a lasting and useful transformation. Now that you know how to evaluate, there are a few problems that still remain. How do you make time to do it? How come when you start, you never finish? Just think about the space itself can be overwhelming for you. How do you make sure that you can limit the amount of paper and stuff that comes into your home? How can you be efficient so you don't sift through the same papers over and over again? Knowing the answers to these questions and making sure that things are clear are all part of my system. Would you like to know what the steps to that system are? Well, I have a 5-step system to get you organized. It's called the reset system. The first step is remove items. This is so that you can reduce items in your space to only have what you love. That way, you can get to the things that you need quickly and feel amazing in your space. I showed you how your brain feels in a messy and clean office. Just know that my reset system is transferable to all of your spaces. We don't live in a bubble. Every room we walk into either supports us or it doesn't. So let's look at a few more examples of how this works. If you want to experience serenity, sex, and sleep, make your bedroom look like this. Notice how we are incorporating the same feeling that we had in a spa in our bedroom. You can feel the serenity in this space. There's nothing on the floor. It's inviting rest. This bedroom has a nice rustic feel. It is clear of clutter and invokes a cozy atmosphere that you want in a bedroom. Another style that is more frilly, you can imagine having sweet dreams in this place. There are no distractions from papers or any clutter marring this sanctuary. In a quaint seaside-style bedroom with a weekend getaway feel, the decor feels light and airy. Even with multiple pillows, it still holds an element of simplicity. These rich gold tones give a feeling of royal slumber. The flowers and lamps on the end tables achieve the spa-like feeling. For those of you enjoying a more modern feel, you can still experience simplicity in a clutter-free zone. Inspired by the desire for a romantic, cozy bedroom with the books, flowers, and blankets, this still allows for clear spaces so your mind can fully rest. Notice while you can actually see the floor, you could never completely rest in this bedroom. It's what I refer to as orderly clutter. None of these things should be in a bedroom because it keeps the mind active with things to do. This space should have the intention of relaxation that can only be achieved without clutter. If you tried to sleep here, what would your experience be? How well do you rejuvenate in this space? Many of you have gone to bed with work on your mind. In a space where your computer is inches from your head, how could you ever deeply rest in this space? This is the kind of sanctuary I want you to go to bed and wake up each morning in. This is SpaLife. Just as your bedroom is a place for your body to rest, your closet is a reflection of how your body shows up in the world. Often one of the first places you go in the morning, let's start your day off right. If you want to experience daily confidence, feeling classy, and wearing colors that are right for you, make your closet look and feel like this. How do you want to show up in the world? From this closet or this closet? You may not even notice there's a blue wall in this picture because the clutter is so distracting. Even with all your things inside here, you can still enjoy the blue wall, more open space, and easily select your clothing. An orderly closet makes getting ready in the morning faster and ever so simple. I know you'll want to see this again side by side. Many of my clients have small closet space. Small can still be clutter-free while having all that you need inside. I've given you several examples of the first step of my system, which is to remove, so you can start enjoying more simplicity in your life. The second step of my system we already covered. This is to evaluate. This is so you can recall why you have something and ask yourself, what do you need this item for, and get rid of anything that you no longer need, especially things like tax paperwork. The third step is to systemize, which includes redesigning your space to put things in places that you use them and that you have easily access to. You want to be able to have things in the areas that you use them, so you're not wasting time retracing your steps just to get to things. Your system should be a reflection of how you use something and in what ways you use them, so you're maximizing your time. The fourth step is to experience the ease of your system. This is to reinforce your new system is working for you and make any tweaks that are needed and make your experience work the best. This makes sure that you enjoy being in your space. The final step is to track and maintain your system. This is to ensure you restore things to where they belong and incorporate. Okay, got it. Okay. The final step is to track and maintain your system. This is to ensure you restore things to where they belong and incorporate that into your life by making them habits. Let's talk about what it takes to track and maintain your stuff. Have you ever tried to get your house organized or finally get through that stack of mail and lo and behold, before you know it, you have a pile of paper again? Not you, of course, but let's walk through what it would actually be like to maintain that space. So let's look at what happens for most of us. You walk over to the mailbox, grab your mail, you're in such a hurry, you put it on your counter, grab some dinner, then run off to your next thing. The next day, this happens again. And over time, you end up with this huge pile of mail on the counter. Well, let me tell you about this little story about my client, Holly. She's a very successful lawyer who found herself trapped in a cycle of having unopened mail. It had gotten so bad that she actually had decades of unopened mail. She was to the point where not having people over because she was embarrassed by the piles. Now, I know no one here would ever let it get that bad. However, what I want to show you is that even in the worst cases, people can actually kick this and make it really easy and fun. The key is to help you find your way to make it fun. That's exactly what I specialize in and why you should book a call with me so I can help you find your way. Now I've got something for those who would like to take this to the next level and turn today's real useful information into a lasting transformation. Here's what I've got for you. I'm going to walk you through what's here. First of all, I want you to know for everyone here, I've got a free, completely complimentary copy of my book, The Paper Clutter Solution Program. Remember when I was talking earlier about wouldn't it be amazing if you didn't forget your grocery list? Be able to save yourself tons of time and always have exactly what you need at your fingertips? Well, how I do all of that is in my Paper Clutter Solution book. And that's the gift you're going to get for just being here today. And oh, by the way, in there is also a list of the 8 action files that you must have so you can always find what you need when you need it. You should get the book just for that. Now let's talk about another offer. Now, this is not for everyone watching this webinar. This is for a Clutter to Calm strategy session, and this is what you're going to get from it. During the Clutter to Calm strategy session, we'll zero in on your specific situation and identify your best next moves to not only reducing clutter, but to also create the excellence that you want in all areas of your life. If you think this might be something you may want to do, but you're not quite sure if you're ready, I would advise you to talk with me. Sign up and invest time in yourself. You simply go to dianehalfman.com/session. The single most important thing is for you to set up your environment now, because your environment is going to pull you towards your goals. So if you really want to reach those goals, go ahead and sign up. And remember, it's not about creating neat stacks of paper. It's about creating a space and a life you love. Being more organized allows you to create those things. Clement Watt once said, "Take the first step, no more, no less, and the next step will be revealed." Your first step was being here today. Your next step that's already been revealed to you is to go to dianehalfman.com/session and sign up for the Clutter to Calm strategy session. That's your path to identify your next best move to creating the life that you love. It's been my absolute pleasure to spend time with you. I trust that you'll use this information we covered today to create a workspace that makes you more productive and profitable. Remember to sign up for the strategy session right now at dianehalfman.com dianehalfman.com/session. Do that right now so you remember. dianehalfman.com/session. Now please go out and create your perfect day. Bye for now.